Salut tout le monde! Welcome back to Unintentionally Frenchified. I am very excited to have you guys here with me today. Even if you haven't seen the apartment tour of my place, you can probably guess that I am in the bathroom today, which is a bit weird if you've seen any of my other videos because I tend to film about my life as an American living in France from a corner of my living room and never in the bathroom, but I'm going to spice things up today. Today we're going to talk about a topic that never goes out of style, which is all around the how-to with French women. How do you dress like a French woman? Well, how do you do your makeup like a French woman? How do you do the hair like a French woman? What's a French woman's skincare routine, etc. And today I'm going to focus on makeup for a French woman. So that's why we're in the bathroom today. This is new content for me, so if you love this type of content, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. This is the perfect time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because I'm going to get my headband. I'm a big lover of headbands, even if I have not been wearing them very recently. I'm gonna get all these flyaways secured so we can do our makeup here. And otherwise, c'est parti. So the French are very much into skincare routines as well, and I'm not going to talk about skincare today, but I can do it if you guys like this type of content or my routine. But there are two steps to doing your makeup that are also skincare routine steps that you absolutely can't forget. Moisturize, sunscreen. Moisturize preps your face, and then sunscreen is incredibly important because if we want to look chic all the way into our 90s like French women, then you should be protecting yourself against sun rays no matter how cloudy it is outside, how cold it is, you've got to be protecting your skin. When it comes to skincare in France, I personally really prefer going to a pharmacy to get my skincare. I like being able to talk to the pharmacist. I like getting their opinion, and I personally really like products that are created with dermatologists or worked with pharmacists or kind of have this medical side to them because I feel like they're more efficient, and I have quite sensitive skin, so I feel like it works better on my skin. Side note though, for everybody watching this video, I work for a beauty company, which I'm very open about. And so a lot of the products that I use come from the company. So I work for the brand La Roche-Posay, which is part of the L'Oreal group. So this video is not at all affiliated with L'Oreal or with the La Roche-Posay brand, but you'll see that a lot of the products I do use come from these groups because, you know, I work for them, and so some of it's biased and some of it's also I just love their stuff. But I also have competitor stuff here too, so I'll show you guys everything that I love. I'm actually quite obsessed with eyes as well, so I do a separate eye moisturizer. You don't have to go that far if you don't want to, but I do, so I'm gonna put some of this on. Recommendations if you are a foreigner living in France and your French is not that good yet. Highly recommend going to a pharmacy when you want to grab your skincare that says international underneath, because usually their English is better, so you can at least speak to them in English. So international pharmacies is a good way to go. And then obviously the second thing I would tell you, as I'm a big believer, is please go try and learn French. Even if you're only staying for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, it's absolutely worth it to invest in yourself and learn French. And I am a huge fan of Lingoda. The next product that I'm going to put on right now as I'm talking to you is my sunscreen. So here you can see the sunscreen that I'm using. It's an Antelios, a little pocket version of it. A lot of my skincare, almost all of it, is La Roche-Posay because duh. As I was saying about Lingoda, if you are having, because it's not very easy to be able to talk to people about your specific skin stuff, if you are interested in learning French, I highly recommend Lingoda. So Lingoda is an immersive language school. They have online classes, so it's 100% online, which means it's incredibly flexible. So if you need to do it in between running to the pharmacy or whatever else you have going on in your life in France, you absolutely can. It's really nice because the classes are super small and they have native speaking teachers. All of them are certified, so you can throw all of your really intense grammar questions at them. And while they have lots of different options, like they have a really good option where you can decide the number of classes that you're going to take up front in a certain period of time, and if you do those classes what you commit to, you get money back, which is really great. And they also have like one-off classes where you can subscribe for the month for a certain amount of classes, but they also do private, like one-on-one. So all of those are group classes, but you can do one-on-one classes, which is really cool. So for example, if you're like, listen, I'm going to be living in France for 3 months, I've got a little bit of a base, I want to be able to go and, you know, shop, I want to be able to ask questions, I want to talk to a pharmacist about my skincare, I want to go to Sephora, before, I want to talk to them about beauty. You can actually do private classes and then you get to decide the subject. So you can say to your teacher, okay, I want to do an hour on all the vocab that I need to know about makeup and please grill me. That kind of flexibility is also really cool too, to really make your own program if you need it. What also is cool about Lingoda is that they have lots of different languages. So they do French, they do German, they do English, they do Spanish. You have options. Do not forget, guys, sunscreen on your neck. Your neck is like the first place that goes as you're aging. And again, we want to stay chic and French chic even in our 90s. So get that sunscreen on here. Okay, so usually one big mistake that I can make is trying to put my makeup on too fast after I've just moisturized and put on sunscreen. Wait a hot second because it's not a good look. The French love natural makeup. So you don't want anything caking onto your moisturizer and sunscreen. So, you know, you have to give it a second. And so anyways, as I was saying about Lingoda, they have lots of different options. So it's a really cool opportunity to really advance yourself and to get comfortable speaking the language, and super flexible too. And since it's a holiday season, they are doing a really awesome deal this month where you can get up to 40% off on your monthly subscription if you sign up with my code, or you can get 40% off on the sprint if you're going to sign up for a sprint. So I'm going to put everything in the YouTube description below, and I highly recommend that you go and check it out. It's a really great way to advance on your language. Okay, ready for some base. So I have about a 3-step routine when it comes to just my base. So first thing that I use is a tinted moisturizer. This one is from NARS and it is their Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer, and it is a light 0. I tend to need pretty light colors. And I don't use a lot of this at all. You just have to remind yourself, if we're looking like the French, that they do not try to hide things about themselves. It's more about accentuating and just highlighting the parts of you that are really beautiful. I tend to just kind of put little spots all over my face of the tinted moisturizer and then rub it in with my fingers. I don't know if that's still what you're supposed to be doing, but when I was an intern in Clarence, they used to tell us that as long as you wash your hands when it comes to your skincare and makeup routine, nothing's better for blending than your actual fingertips, as long as you do it nice and soft. So I've kind of always stuck with that, but maybe you guys will tell me in the comments below I absolutely should stop that. So I do, put this tinted moisturizer over. I think it's a good base to start because I have, since pregnancy for sure, seen like a more redness, more unevenness to my skin tone, and that just kind of like sets everything up. And then since being a mother, I absolutely 100% need some under eye concealer, and I hope all you parents out there watching do understand, or just anyone who's tired in life, because I use this, if you guys can see it, it's from Lancome, and it is under eye concealer, long lasting, and I have it in ivory. And I will put this baby on, that's not a problem, and then blend it in. This is gonna be the theme of the video, is like, how do you put on makeup light enough that it helps you, but not dark enough that people can really tell you have on makeup. The French are all about looking effortless, looking like they've done nothing. If you see a French woman walking down the street looking radiant and looking like she hasn't done anything special, she has. She's definitely done something to herself and taken time on herself, but it's not about being able to see that. And then last thing that I have is to go with the tinted moisturizer. I have the same NARS, but I have it in Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'll go in there on my little spots, come up nice and close here. You can see, and I'll say like, okay, what can the little spots I can cover up. And then I always just try to make sure when I'm doing it that I'm not leaving behind anything you can really tell. Like if you're thinking about doing makeup like a French woman, if a little bit of concealer doesn't hide it completely, that's okay. Like then you just, you've got that little dot that day and no problem. I would not ever cake on anything to look too, put on too much of anything and be too cakey. You'd much rather have people see your spot or whatever imperfection that you might have going on, than see that you've tried to cover it up with like an abundance of makeup. Okay, so that would be the base, my French base. This still looks pretty much like my natural skin color. There's not a lot you can tell. It still matches my neck. There's no super bronze, super dark color. For the most part, you've just really stayed with what your mama gave you. Next on the list would be a bit of bronzer. Some people don't need bronzer. Because I'm fair skin and fair hair, like right now as you can see I'm pretty washed out, and so I need a bit of bronzer to kind of like lighten things up a bit. When it comes to contouring, no French woman does it. I mean, yes, that's obviously a complete exaggeration, and I'll have people in the comments being like, I'm French and I contour my face, but I would say on average most women are not contouring. Maybe for a night out or you doing like a really fancy like gala, I have no idea, but like then okay, but really like on a day-to-day makeup there's no contouring. This one I'm using is a La Roche-Posay as well, and it is their Tolerian line, and it's Poudre de Soleil. So it's a palette that's got like a bronzer in here, then it's got one that's got some shimmers inside of the bronzer, and then it also has some blush. Guys, I go super light on the bronzer. It's supposed to look natural, it's supposed to look like kind of like sun-kissed. I tend to really do like my cheekbones most of the time. Just to make sure that like it looks a little bit. Then I'd still follow the lines of like where you would if you were doing like a dark contouring, but I just wouldn't like make it super dark. And then honestly, we're good to go. So it just makes me feel a little less like washed out, you know? I feel like a little bit more, maybe I got like 8 hours of sleep look and went to the beach. Next up in my French woman routine for makeup would be a little bit of blush if you wanted it. I don't think you have to have blush. I usually, it depends, we'll add a bit. I love this blush. So it's more of a tint. It's the Benetint from Benefit. And it's a rose tinted lip and cheek stain. And I find this to be not only a really good one for your cheeks right here, but also a really good stain for your lips if you want to go super natural. Again, anything that's more of like a stain, I would say it should be called like French stain, because that's pretty good. So I just do just a little bit here on my cheekbones. But again, like the idea is just how natural can you look here. And I won't put it on my lips today because I'm going to do a different lip for you guys, but I am definitely capable of putting this stain on and then I could go like this. But I'm going to do the full day look, like if I was going to the office, for example. Next, we don't really have very many steps left, but next would be some mascara. This one I'm using the Mascara Super Volume from Clarins. Big fan of Clarins. So when I was in the US, I used to have like really clumpy mascara. I would use an eyelash curler. I would do a lot to my eyes. The French curl look, I would say, is way less focused on, of course, you put a tad of mascara and you try to like enhance, as I said, what you've got in the eyelashes that you have. But I haven't used an eyelash curler for like 5 years. I'll be curious if you guys tell me in the comments below if you guys are using eyelash curlers or not. Because I always felt like that was kind of American. So yeah, I just put on a little swipe on the top and a little bit on the bottom. Get those eyelashes going. I normally stop there. I wouldn't do a lot more to my eyes. I would either choose to do something a bit darker on the eyes, but then a nude lip or a very good lip stain, or I would do the opposite. I'll do like a very vibrant lip and then I will leave my eyes alone. So I'm gonna leave my eyes alone today. I wouldn't go any more than that. If I do, I really use usually this Giorgio Armani stick. The color is, it's the Smooth Silk Eye Pencil, and I've got it in number 12, which is a brown because that goes best with blue eyes, and I smudge it in. So I would just do a little bit here, like dark part here. I wouldn't go like huge. I wouldn't put a ton of eyeshadow that you can see all the way up high here on my lid. Obviously this is a French look. If you want to do that, by all means, go for it, whatever rocks your boat. But I wouldn't say you see that a lot in France. And then the final thing would be lips. So one thing that the only thing about a French woman's face that can be non-natural, I find, is the lips. They really can go for like an in-your-face dark lip, which is really fun. So I'm gonna use, what is this? This is La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Lips for repairing. And I just kind of prep my lips a little bit because I tend to have super dry lips. I don't know about you guys, but like the water in Paris is so hard. My hair is so dry, my lips are so dry. If I want to go for a lip, not a stain, but something a bit more, and that's like a good pink color, so still stays like in the natural, that is Bobbi Brown, and the lip color that I use is 6, and I really like that here. I can show you guys really quick what that looks like. It's just like if I don't want to go for like the red lip. I could go for something really natural like that. This could be like my finished look for sure for the office or something. But today I'm going to show you guys more of what I would do if I was going for like a very in-your-face red. Because the best part about the French is that they really do appreciate when it comes to makeup is a really good red lip. So I'm using this is Rouge d'Armani Matte. It's 403. So I would say, if I take off my hair here, I mean, I'm not giving you a hair tutorial, so this is as good as it gets in terms of my hair. But I would say that this is very much like going to work, wearing whatever I want, having like a fun, like wanting to put on makeup for sure and showing off my lips and everything, but at the same time being very natural. All right, guys, that is a wrap on the French makeup tutorial. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think, if you agree with me, if you disagree, if there's steps you would add, if things you would do differently. But this is what I would say would be the kind of regular, toned down, natural French woman look with a bit of red on the lips, you know. Do not forget about Lingoda if you're interested in learning French. I've got the code, you've got the 40% off. It's all in the YouTube description below, so please go and check that out. Otherwise, this was really fun to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see everybody la semaine prochaine. Bisous!